Hello there, and welcome to One Horn Stables. How can I be of service today? You're interested in renting a unicorn for your trip? Well, obviously you've come to the correct establishment. Do you have a reservation with us, or are you just walking in to see if we have any unicorns available? You do have a reservation. Okay, let me just grab our parchment scroll here and see if I can find you, okay? What is your name? Okay. And how do you spell that? Let me see a little farther here. Okay, yep, I think I've found you. You requested a unicorn for 3 days, is that correct? That is correct. Okay, so, well, we do have one ready and waiting for you in the stables. We actually have several available at the moment, so you can decide exactly what kind of unicorn you want. Now, are you interested in a large unicorn or a smaller unicorn? A larger unicorn? Probably somewhere around 15 or 16 hands. Yep, we can definitely do that. We have a very large, beautiful unicorn in our stables, and I think he'll be large enough to carry you and any bottles of glitter or whatever you might have on your journey. Where are you going, if I may ask? Oh no, it doesn't really matter. We're just always kind of curious, you know? You're going to the Gilded Wings gathering. Okay. I have never actually been there, but I've heard many good things about that from several of my friends, so I am still hoping to get there someday, but, you know, working the unicorn stable kind of takes up a lot of my time, so don't always have time to go on multi-day journeys, but someday I am going to make it to the Gilded Wings gathering. But okay, so yeah, you're probably definitely going to want the big guy that we've got in the stable then, just to make sure that you can carry everything, because that is a several day event, I know. So now, are you planning to bring the unicorn back here, or will you be leaving him near the gathering and riding home with someone else? Yeah, we have stables all over in many different areas, because, you know, many fairies are just taking a one-way journey for a business trip or to paint flowers, you know, different things like that, and they don't always need to come back to this area. So we have many conveniently located stables, and you can drop your rented unicorn off at any one of those stables. The one thing you do want to do is make sure that you have your unicorn back to the stable before sunset of that day, because if you are not back by sunset, we of course, you know, go out and fly around in the twilight, so our stables are not open after sunset, and if you return the unicorn after sunset, you will be charged an additional day's rent. So you really want to have it back before sunset, because if no one's here, you'll just have to stick the unicorn in the holding corral, and you will be charged for an additional day. So you want to avoid the additional day's charges. Just make sure that you have your unicorn back to us, or one of our, you know, many conveniently located additional stables before sunset, and then you will only be charged for that day and the other days that you've had the unicorn, of course, but you won't be charged an additional day. Alright, and now for the kind of the less fun part of the transaction here. How will you be renting your unicorn? Will you be paying in gold dust, glitter, gilded acorns? Gilded acorns, okay. Will you be requiring any saddlebags or anything like that to hold any of your possessions for your journey? Do Do you prefer a saddle and saddle blanket or something more barebacked? Okay. And I'm sorry I missed it. Did you say yes or no to the saddlebags? Okay. Now, we offer a complimentary assistance program so that should your unicorn throw a shoe or get sick on the journey, you can simply shoot a little bit of glitter into the air, and several of our fairies will come by and will either bring a replacement unicorn for you, or we can come by and fix whatever the problem is. So, if the unicorn throws a shoe, we'll send our little blacksmith fairy straight out to you, and she can fix up the shoe and get you back on your merry way with the unicorn, okay? Are you interested in that complimentary assistance policy? No, there is no extra charge. It's entirely complimentary. Sometimes people don't want to take it because they want to do all the care for the unicorn themselves, but it's totally unnecessary. We don't recommend doing the care for the unicorn yourself unless you're really experienced in unicorn care. There are just different things that you have to do with a unicorn that you may not do with other creatures, so it does take kind of delicate care. So we do definitely recommend the complimentary assistance policy. But some people are well versed in unicorn care and really want to do it themselves, which is all right. However, should you damage the unicorn in any way, there will be an additional charge for that. So unless you're super well versed in unicorn care, I do highly recommend the assistance policy. You would like the assistance. Okay, that's an excellent choice. Now, we also offer an insurance policy for the unicorn, and this is only because you have taken the complimentary assistance program, because if you are taking care of a unicorn yourself, then you are liable for anything that happens to it on the journey. But because you have signed up for the assistance and are allowing us to care for anything that might go wrong with the unicorn on your journey, you are also eligible to apply for the insurance that will cover anything that would go wrong with the unicorn on the journey. That one is not complimentary. It is an extra charge. It is kind of a good thing to have, though, just in case, it's just kind of a little extra peace of mind knowing that, should your unicorn be injured or die, you're not responsible for that because, as you might guess, unicorns are not exactly cheap to replace. They only birth every few years and, only one foal at a time. So it's kind of a slow reproductive process, which is why, unicorns aren't just running in herds around all the meadows. They are fairly rare, so it is kind of pricey to replace one. So if you can afford the insurance, I definitely recommend it because, as I say, accidents do happen. Your unicorn could walk into a hole, you could be riding by, and a leprechaun could put a curse on you and the unicorn. You just don't want to have to be liable for those kinds of things. So I would definitely recommend getting the additional insurance. You will take that. Okay, so we already have your full name. We've got that from the reservation. And we will need your toadstool address, the address of the toadstool that you're living under, just in case we need to send out any paperwork if something does happen. Okay. And which meadow is that toadstool in? Okay. And one other important question. Is this your first time riding a unicorn? Okay, and how many years have you been riding then? Okay, that's great. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of an extra cost then. Sometimes if it's an inexperienced unicorn rider, it's a little more if the unicorn is hurt along the trail, just because, the person's inexperienced. But yeah, with your experience, if your unicorn should happen to, get hurt along the trail, it shouldn't be too much of a cost. So yeah, okay. All right, so we're all set. We have your unicorn, which I will take you back to meet in just a moment. I can take you back and, get to know him a little bit. You really want to build a rapport with your unicorn before you climb on his back, just in case he doesn't like you. And if he doesn't, we can always just, get a different unicorn who might be a little more compatible with you. But for the most part, unicorns are pretty docile creatures and are very accommodating to whoever's riding them. So the big guy that I am going to show you, he is a full-grown unicorn, so he is able to fly. However, due to his size, he can only fly small distances, so you're not going to be able to fly more than a mile or two at a time before he needs to come back down and, take a little rest, by which, of course, we just mean walking. He doesn't have to lay down and take a nap or anything. He's a pretty robust fellow, but, he can fly for like a mile or two, and then he'll have to come back down and do a little bit of walking, but he is a fast walker, so he'll get you to your journey pretty quickly. And he's very protective of anyone who's riding him, so if there's any wild animals along your path, he's definitely going to fight them off and protect his riders. So, and another benefit is being a full-fledged unicorn. If you come upon a stream of drinking water and you're concerned about its purity, he can use his horn to purify the water. So it's one of the best reasons to travel with a unicorn, because you always have a ready supply of drinking water. So we've got your paperwork in order. Why don't I take you back to meet the gallant fellow who's going to be taking you on your journey, and you can get checked out and get off to your Merry Gilded Wings convention, okay? All right, let's head back.